What if I told you that the average house price in Austin did not go down in 2022? I'm going to make that case right after this. My name is Jeff Miller. I'm a residential real estate specialist here in the greater Austin area. I focus on residential buying and selling in Austin and all the great communities around Austin. All right, so here's what I'm trying to say. The average house price in 2022 did not go down. Now, yes, you can look and say, hey, Jeff, no, if you look at the numbers, prices were here, they're now here. And I understand that argument, but hear me out. A year ago, when we were selling or buying, and understand that realtors always run comps, so we run our comps a year ago. And if I had a buyer and they're like, hey, I want to get this house, it's $400,000, what's it going to take to get it? Well, by running the comps, I would be like, well, realistically, we need to go probably 15% over. And in some cases, that was 20 or 25% over, depending on the neighborhood and location. But for our argument here, we'll use 15%. And the same thing would happen with my listings a year ago. I had multiple listings, ran comps, came up with what the comps said the price should be. The seller and I agreed on that, and so we priced it fairly, or at least based on the comps. And what happened? On every listing, 15 to 17% over list price is what we sold it for. Now, why do I say that? Because what did the average house price drop in 2022? Well, it dropped 14%. So you could make the argument that, yes, we were overpaying. Hard to argue that one. That a year ago, houses were being overpaid for. So now, they're actually more realistically priced where they're supposed to be. Yes, you can look at just the numbers, but if you look at and think about it, it means house prices dropped 14% this year, but a year ago, to get that house, people were overpaying by 15%. So that kind of makes it a wash, doesn't it? So I realize numbers are still numbers, but if you think of it that way, it's sort of like if you buy a stock in the stock market, right? You buy that stock for $50 a share, it goes up to $100 a share, but you haven't sold it, so you don't have the money, right? And then you want to sell it, but it's dropped down to $75 a share. Well, you can either look at it like, hey, I just lost $25 a share, or you can look like I gained $25 a share. The reality is you didn't lose $25 a share because you never had it. So sellers who didn't sell when the market was crazy, they're not losing the money, they never had it. And if you're a buyer, right, the pricing's still the same, you're just not paying a premium now. Anyway, I hope that makes sense. I also did something really interesting. I actually ran numbers for the last decade of home prices and how they've changed in Austin. And here's what's fascinating. On average, starting in 2013, and this is on a single family home in Austin, between 1,500 to 2,500 square feet, the price went up on average $20,000 a year on the value of the home. So 2013 to 14 to 15 to 2016 to 2017 to 2018, the average increase in the home price was $20,000 each year. Now what happened? In 2019, there was a little dip, and then in 2020, the home price went up $78,000 on average that year. In 21, it was $140,000 for that year. And even in 2022, with how the year ended, home prices were still up $50,000. So if you went back to 2018 and just added, say, $20,000 a year to each home value and came all the way to where we are now, guess what? Prices would be exactly where they're at. Anyway, I hope that makes sense. If you want that information on home prices, I'm happy to send it to you. Just shoot me a message in comments. If you have questions, feel free to put them in the comment thread down below. As always, if I can help you with residential buy or sell in the greater Austin area, feel free to reach out. My contact information is right there. And you all take care.